Lamentations 3. God's steadfast love endures. I am the man who has seen affliction under the rod of his wrath. He has driven and brought me into darkness without any light. Surely against me he turns his hand again and again the whole day long. He has made my flesh and my skin waste away, and broken my bones. He has besieged and enveloped me with bitterness and tribulation. He has made me dwell in darkness like the dead of long ago. He has walled me about so that I cannot escape. He has put heavy chains on me. Though I call and cry for help, he shuts out my prayer. He has blocked my ways with hewn stone. He has made my paths crooked. He is to me like a bear lying in wait, like a lion in hiding. He led me off my way and tore me to pieces. He has made me so desolate. He bent his bow and set me as a mark for his arrow. He drove into my heart the arrows of his quiver. I have become the laughing stock of all peoples, the burden of their songs all day long. He has filled me with bitterness. He has sated me with wormwood. He has made my teeth grind on gravel and made me cower in ashes. My soul is bereft of peace. I have forgotten what happiness is. So I say, gone is my glory and my expectation from the Lord. Remember my affliction and my bitterness, the wormwood and the gall. My soul continually thinks of it and is bowed down within me. But this I call to mind, and therefore I have hope. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, says my soul. Therefore I will hope in him. The Lord is good to those who wait for him, to the soul that seeks him. It is good that one should wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord. It is good for a man that he bear the yoke in his youth. Let him sit alone in silence when he has laid it on him. Let him put his mouth in the dust. There may yet be hope. Let him give his cheek to the smiter and be filled with insults. For the Lord will not cast off forever. But though he cause grief, he will have compassion, according to the abundance of his steadfast love. For he does not willingly afflict or grieve the sons of man. To crush underfoot all the prisoners of the earth, to turn aside the right of a man in the presence of the Most High, to subvert a man in his cause, the Lord does not approve. Who has commanded and it came to pass, unless the Lord has ordained it? Is it not from the mouth of the Most High that good and evil come? Why should a living man complain, a man about the punishment of his sins? Let us test and examine our ways and return to the Lord. Let us lift up our hearts and hands to God in the heaven. We have transgressed and rebelled, and thou hast not forgiven. Thou hast wrapped thyself with anger, and pursued us, slaying without pity. Thou hast wrapped thyself with a cloud, so that no prayer can pass through. Thou hast made us offscouring, fuse among the people. All our enemies rail against us. Panic and pitfall have come upon us. Devastation and destruction. My eyes flow with rivers of tears because of the destruction of the daughter of my people. My eyes will flow without ceasing, without respite, until the Lord from heaven looks down and sees. My eyes cause me grief at the fate of all the maidens of my city. I have been hunted like a bird by those who were my enemies without cause. They flung me alive into the pit and cast stones on me. closed over my head, I said, I am lost. I called on thy name, O Lord, from the depths of the pit. Thou didst hear my plea. Do not close thy ear to hear my cry for help. Thou didst come near when I called on thee. Thou didst say, do not fear. Thou hast taken up my cause, O Lord. Thou hast redeemed my life. Thou hast seen the wrong done to me, O Lord. Judge thou my cause. Thou hast seen all their vengeance, all their devices against me. Thou hast heard their taunts, O Lord, all their devices against me. The lips and thoughts of my assailants are against me all day long. Behold, their sitting and their rising. I am the burden of their songs. Thou wilt requite them, O Lord, according to the work of their hands. Thou wilt give them dullness of heart. Thy curse will be on them. Thou wilt pursue them in anger and destroy them from under thy heavens, O Lord. Lamentations for the punishment of Zion. How the gold has grown dim, how the pure gold is changed. The holy stones lie scattered at the head of every street. The precious sons of Zion work their weight in fine gold. How they are reckoned as earthen pots, the work of a potter's hand. Even the jackals give the breast and suckle their young. But the daughters of my people have become cruel, like ostriches in the wilderness. The tongue of the nursing cleaves to the roof of its mouth for thirst. The children beg for food, but no one gives to them. Those who feasted on dainties perish in the street. Those who were brought up in purple lie on ash heaps. For the chastisement of the daughters of my people have been greater than the punishment of Sodom, which was overthrown in a moment, no hand being laid on it. Her princes were purer than snow, whiter than milk. Their bodies were more ruddy than coral. The beauty of their form was like sapphire. Now their visage is blacker than soot. They are not recognized in the street. Their skin has shriveled upon their bones. It has become as dry as wood. Happier were the victims of the sword than the victims of hunger, who pinned away stricken by want of the fruits of the field. The hands of compassionate women have boiled their own children. They become their food in destruction of the daughter of my people. The Lord gave full vent on his anger. He poured out his hot anger, and he kindled a fire in Zion, which consumed its foundations. The kings of the earth did not believe, or any of the inhabitants of the world, that foe or enemy could enter the gates of Jerusalem. This was for the sins of her prophets and the iniquities of her priests, who shed in the midst of her the blood of the righteous. They wandered blind through the streets, so defiled with blood that none could touch their garments. Away, unclean! Men cried at them. Away, away, touch not! So they became fugitives and wanderers. Men said among the nations, they shall stay with us no longer. The Lord himself has scattered them. He will regard them no more. No honor was shown to the priests, no favor to the elders. Our eyes failed, ever watching vainly for help. In our watching, we watched for a nation which could not save. Men dodged our steps so that we could not walk in our streets. Our end drew near, our days were numbered, for our end had come. Our pursuers were swifter than the vultures in the heavens. They chased us on the mountains, they laid in wait for us in the wilderness. The breath of our nostrils the Lord anointed was taken in their pits. He of whom we said, under his shadows we shall live among the nations. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, dweller in the land of Uz. But to you also the cup shall pass. You shall become drunk and strip yourself bare. The punishment of your iniquity, O daughter of Zion, is accomplished. He will keep you in exile no longer. But your iniquity, O daughter of Edom, he will punish. He will uncover your sins. Lamentations 5, a plea for mercy. Remember, O Lord, what has befallen us. Behold and see our disgrace. Our inheritance has been overturned to strangers, our homes to aliens. We have become orphans, fatherless. Our mothers are like widows. We must pay for the water we drink, the wood we must get be bought. With a yoke on our necks, we are hard driven, we are weary, we are given no rest. We have given the hand to Egypt and to Assyria to get bread enough. Our fathers sinned and are no more, and we bear their iniquities. Slaves rule over us, there is none to deliver us from their hands. We get our bread at the peril of our lives because of the sword in the wilderness. Our skin is hot as an oven with the burning heat of famine. Women are ravished in Zion, virgins in the town of Judah. Princes are hung up by their hands. No respect is shown to the elders. Young men are compelled to grind at the mill, and boys stagger under the loads of wood. The old men have quit the city gate, the young men their music. The joy of our heart has ceased, our dancing has been turned into mourning. The crown has fallen from our head. Woe to us, for we have sinned. For this our heart has become sick. For these things our eyes have grown dim. For Mount Zion, which lies in desolate, jackals prowl over it. But thou, O Lord, dost reign forever. Thy throne endures to all generations. Why dost thou forget us forever? Why dost thou so long forsake us? Restore us to thyself, O Lord, that we may be restored. Renew our days as of old. Or hast thou utterly rejected us? Art thou exceedingly angry with us?